Okay, so after a bit of a delay, we're back with part 2 of this escapade. Now, if you remember in the last part 1, I discussed putting new wires, splicing new wires on here, but I've since come up with another idea. As you'll remember, the insulation was peeled off these wires back to the point where it was contacting the axle and shorting out. But the wires themselves are still long enough. So I think what I'm going to try is I'm going to attempt to salvage these wires by insulating them with some liquid electric tape. Picked this up at Home Depot in the electrical department. I've never used it before, but I've watched a bunch of videos on its use and its effectiveness, and I'm thinking it's worth a try. So what I will do is see if I can insulate these wires up close enough to the end to keep them from shorting out on the axle, and leave enough exposed to make contact with the contact washer. Here's another little hack that I've tried. This obviously was made to work with a special plug that makes contact here. But in the absence of such a plug, what I've done is I've actually just taken and stripped back some wire and fastened it on here with some heat shrink. I just heat shrunk these together. I've put the ohm meter on it, and I've got a good connection there. So when we get this repaired, we'll just use this connector, and I've got a 2-wire connector here that obviously this will hang off the wheel, but it won't be too bad to work with. If you want to take the wheel out, you just unplug that, and this portion will remain on the bike. So we'll go to work on that and see how it turns out. Alright, we've got the wires pulled out here, so now we're going to take the applicator brush. You know what, I think maybe I'm going to try something different here, because that brush is pretty big. I think what we're going to do is we're just going to take a little bit of this goop on a toothpick, see if we can apply it that way. And maybe we'll just do it in multiple layers. We'll just put it on lightly and go back and put some more on later. Apparently, from what I saw watching other people do this, once it dries, it contracts quite a bit. Okay, so I've got a few coats of the liquid tape on the wires there. I've got them pressed into the groove, and this washer goes on the underside of the bearing. Okay, so we'll put that down in place. Those magnets really snap onto it there, and put the bearing. See if we can hold these in place while we put the bearing down over them. There we go. Okay. Alright, so now put the insulating washer. There's a little divider there that keeps the wires apart. Now, bend the wires out, one of them on each side of that divider there, and bend the end back so they don't stick out past the insulator. Solid wire, so I want to be careful we don't bend it too many times or we'll fatigue it and break it. That wouldn't be good. Then we'd have to go back to plan A, which was to splice new wires on. This, if you don't remember, is plan B. Hopefully we won't have to resort to plan A. I'll be happy if this works. Alright, so I've got those bent over so that they don't stick out, short out. Now we'll take our connector here. Notice how these are divided. So each of these sides contacts one of these wires. And there's a little tab there to keep it aligned on the axle. And then there's another little washer with a tab on it that goes down like that. And then the outer lock nut. And hopefully when we get this together we will have a electrical connection. We will soon know. Probably won't run smooth until we get the second flange on. But anyway, let's see if we've got continuity here. So we've got it set on the ohm meter side, and we'll see if we get a Alright, so we've got continuity. That's good. So let's see if it generates any power. Like this. Yeah. Not enough hands here to keep everything together and keep this pointed at the camera. Look at that. We're generating power. Hopefully you can see that. Alright, so we got AC power. I've got it set on 10 volt. I'm not sure which scale I'm working on here, but it is generating, so it works. Alright, so that's enough for this video. In the next video I will be mounting the left side flange on here, and building it into a wheel, and see if we can get it to power some lights. See you next time.